I am concerned, very concerned, that without fans in 2021, we are going to have no sports in 2021. What makes me say that? Well, Adam Silver came out yesterday and in a very interesting statement that we need to dive into, said that he does not expect the next NBA season to begin before January at the earliest. The old plan was to have the NBA playoffs end October 12th, which will be the final game for October 12th will be the final game for a Game 7 in the NBA Finals. Then he wanted to start training camp only 7 weeks later. The regular season would begin. So training camp would start weeks later and then go into the season December 1st. Michelle Roberts, the head of the Players Union, the executive director of the NBA Players Union, said no, too early. Then there was a thought they'd try to start Christmas. Now Adam Silver is saying January. Is that because the union wants more time off? Only partially. What's happening here is that Adam Silver is reading the CTL, the COVID tea leaves. He has seen that we're having a fall spike that is now beginning again in Europe and in Asia, and even in Canada, and even in the US, where cases are again rising at an alarming rate. It is already the end of September. We've talked about this vis-a-vis steroids. Remember the steroid talk? Hey, I had a great off season. I gained 30 pounds of muscle. I really worked out every day. The off season is measured in weeks, not years, not barely months. What is going to change between today, September 23rd, and December? That's 3 months from now. I'm hoping everything. Where were we 3 months ago? That was May. No, it wasn't. That was June 23rd. Do you remember where you were June 23rd? It sort of seems like yesterday, but also 5 years ago. We were seeing improvements in some places. Maybe we're closer to a vaccine now than we were. Maybe we're not. Maybe we have better testing now. Maybe we don't. Maybe the testing is more rapid now. Maybe it's not. Maybe there's fewer false positives. Maybe they're not. My point is that 3 months from now, it's the snap of a finger. There is zero chance that 3 months from today, there will be 20,000 people inside your local arena without it being a rally. Zero chance. And the NBA realizes that they cannot play back in Orlando. Do you remember what we said maybe a month ago, that NBA was going to keep the bubble operational in case they have to return to the bubble? Well, this has never been released or talked about, but a bonus wait to see is the following. The NBA regular season next year will not commence in a bubble. What we have learned about the NBA bubble and really the NHL bubble is that it has been brutal on the players and their mental health. It has been phenomenal in terms of COVID protection. The bubble has been unpierceable so far. But the Players Union in the NBA has said, we're not going back. And I believe them. I believe that there will not be a negotiation that they will enter into that involves going to a bubble in January and staying in that bubble until the following June or July or August. It's not going to happen. So Adam Silver has no choice but to, from a mental health standpoint and an economic standpoint, to start the season where players can be at home, players can play in their home arena, and fans can be at the games. NHL is going through the same problem. Major League Baseball is going through the same problem. They can't bubble. They're going into the postseason bubble today, but they're going to be in a bubble. It's not a real Orlando bubble. It just means they're in their hotel. but the World Series ends October 28th at the latest. A month from now, the World Series will be playing game. Game 1 is October 20th. Game 2 is the 21st. Game 3 is the 23rd. 1 month from now is game 3 of the World Series. These players have had enough. Adam Silver has started to lay that groundwork to make it very clear to sponsors, to fans, and to front offices that unless they can get the revenue from fans in the arena and let players stay at home, they're not starting that season. So what is the ramification of another basketball season delayed? Remember, the NBA normally starts in October and ends in June. If they start in June, does that mean they're going to play till September? Well, right now they're playing till October, and who's used to it? I am. I'm okay watching basketball. I feel like it's weird. I feel like it's the playoffs and the conference finals. It should be the beginning of June, so it doesn't feel like the end of September. Of course, when you live in Florida and it's 90 degrees, no matter what day of the week or week of the month or month of the year, you don't know what month it is. But my internal clock is slightly off, but I'll get used to it. I will adjust. But as a league, MLB is frantic over these Adam Silver comments. If the NBA changes its calendar and plays again through the summer, they will be competing on a daily basis with the NBA. What MLB craved were the summer months after the NBA finals from June 15th to 20th until training camp starts or preseason starts or the NFL regular season starts. I would always be upset when training camp started because the Dolphins would get so much attention just for training camp. In other circles of MLB, they would be more concerned about when the regular season started, which was always around Labor Day. But by Labor Day, MLB could say, hey, we have the pennant race. We've got the chase for the playoffs. So they could have some sort of way to keep fans hooked in September, but you lose every market that is not competing for a playoff spot in September. Those teams that are mailing it in, no fans are going to games, and you've got football to compete with. Now imagine you add basketball to that mix. It's too much. There's too much saturation going on. During the pandemic, when there were no sports, we were frantic about having no sports. We needed to have sports. The ratings have been decent. There could be political reasons the ratings are down. There could be saturation, the reason that ratings are down. There could be overall pandemic angst why ratings are down in some cases. From a long-term standpoint, it is not good to have all these leagues competing together.